Alright, how's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac. I'm here with a massively awaited video, at least for me. I've really been waiting to do this, but I'm here with a video on Black Clover's final anime arc. Well, I have to stress that final for the anime. The manga is still ongoing, at like as of this day. And the reason why the anime stopped was because there wasn't enough material to go off of. Same with like how Super stopped. They're waiting for the manga to build up material. And so that's why this is cut short when in reality it's in the middle of an arc that's finished in the manga. So I'm gonna be covering the Heart Kingdom joint struggle arc, and that's it because the arc that the show ends on isn't done. So I'm not gonna be talking about anything like that. But for people who are here for the spoiler free stuff, let me talk about that in a second. But I just want to say it's been a pleasure. It's been great. I'm not done with Black Clover. I still have to catch up to the manga, so that's gonna be enjoyable for sure. But for the anime, it's been great. And I have so many more words to say for when I get to the end of this video. But just right now, just know I loved every second of it, almost every second. So this arc is 13 episodes long, and the reason for that again is because they stopped it. The manga material was they were close to it, so they didn't want to just like stop making episodes halfway into an arc. So they did it for the betterment of the show, and I appreciate that because Boruto didn't do that, and I wish they did. I really wish that they did. For only 13 episodes, you would think like, oh, it's just being crammed and there's no thought put into it. No, there is like, it is a lot of thought being put into it, and it doesn't feel crammed at all. Everything that happened felt natural, except for maybe like the beginning of it, but I can't mention that here. But everything just felt nice and it flowed into each other, and a lot happened. And it hasn't felt like that in a long time without it being a massive amount of episodes. So I really enjoyed that as well. The animation was great. The story was amazing. Probably the best that the story has ever been, besides like the last arc, which was peak fiction. So the fact that it managed to match that and it's still not even done, it's just awesome. And I can't wait to see what happens in the manga. But this show really just seeing the improvement is beautiful. It's genuinely beautiful because you go from a show that people didn't like and dropped to seeing how far it's come now, and I'm super invested in just the cliffhanger. I'm super invested in that. You would think like, oh, that sucks. Like the show stopped because of manga problems, right? It's like, nah, man. I'm just gonna keep reading, bro, because the manga isn't done. So I'm just really excited, invested, and ready to see what this show has in store for me when it comes back, and also what the manga has in store for me. If I had to give it a rating, definitely a 9 to a 9.5 out of 10. This beginning was so strong, and I can't wait to talk about it. So yeah, go watch it. Go watch this show for sure. This show has it, and it's awesome. It delivers it in spades. The beginning's a little rough, but if you stick with it, you'll find diamonds in the rough, and then the whole thing will become a diamond. So you just gotta believe, bro. You gotta trust. But yeah, time to go into the spoiler section. Alright, so this arc basically picks up where I thought the show was going, where we had the time skip, and it's 6 months later. Everybody's trained up, everything's going well. And these first couple episodes, like the first two, are just basically, hey, we're getting reacquainted with everything that's going on. Asta, Noel, Finral. Well, yeah, that's basically it. Oh, Leopold too. They all have new designs. The most I got like a little change, just her hair though. That's basically it. And Charmy looks the exact same except she got bigger, as in like her mass. And so that's basically it. And then you have them all in the Heart Kingdom showing off their powers. You have Asta who went to a wandering ship that's housing a bunch of Spade Kingdom relatives, or not relatives, residents. And the machine is taking all of their mana. And so Asta goes over there. He beats the guys that are in charge of it. Noel, Finral, and Mimosa all show up over there to help him out as well. And Luck and Leopold go neighboring base that's over near Heart Kingdom that's bordering them in Spade. And so that's basically what's going on. Okay, so this one's a little tricky. All three of these are happening concurrently, so let me try my best to go about them the way that they started and the way that they ended. So Yuno's is the first one that happens, and his basically is one of the members from the Dark Triad, which is the member of the Spade Kingdom that's super high up, like the highest of the highest, because they have devils, just like how Asta does, right? And the reason why they're so high up is because they overthrew the old government that used to run Spade Kingdom because they weren't always so vicious and violent and all that stuff. And through all this, we find out that Yuno is actually Spade Kingdom royalty, and the only reason we find out is because one of the members of the old royalty, the old family, came to Hajj village and asked for Yuno. He went over there, and the next thing you know, the Golden Dawn base is being attacked, right? So Yuno rushes back, and the person that's attacking him is Xenon, right? One of the three Dark Triad. Man is strong. Man is like Kibimaru from Naruto, where he has bone magic. But basically, man, Xenon shows up and claps everybody. He claps William Vengeance. He claps Yuno himself. He claps Klaus, the girl with the compass powers, everybody. And it's so bad that multiple people in the Golden Dawn are dead. Like, actually dead. Like, the guy who enjoyed food and the rock magic guy that were, like, all the way back when Yuno and Asta were getting their medals and everything, they died. They're actually dead. God rest their souls. And so now it's just like, dog, what do we do? I gotta avenge him because vengeance was taken. The captain was taken by Xenon, and so he's gone. And now it's just like, yo, I gotta get them back. I have to. Meanwhile, you have Asta, right? And he's going over to the Black Bulls because he wants to talk to them a little bit before everybody gets prepared to attack Spade Kingdom, right? And so he's talking to Vanessa, Ghosh, Gray, all of them, right? Finrol's there as well. And he's like, all right, I gotta go get Yami from the captain's meeting that was going on, so I'll be back, right? And next thing you know, Dante from the Triad, shows up and he starts attacking the Black Bulls. And for context, the four that I mentioned, except Finral, are all there. Yami is there, and Magna, Zora, they aren't there. They're gone training, and Noel is gone as well. Henry's still in the house, so he's there, but that's basically it. There's only five people, five Black Bulls in the Black Bulls hideout, and Dante shows up, and he's just clapping everybody because that man has gravity magic, and so he's just bodying Asta. He made Asta lose control, and he stabbed Ghosh in his abdomen, went right through him, probably destroyed his spine, and he's just dying, right? And Vanessa's trying her best to use Rouge. It's not working out. And Gray, we learn her backstory. She basically has like a Cinderella type backstory where her two sisters, or older sisters, hate her because she's ugly, or ugly to them. I think she's fine. And her mother hates her because she has useless magic, and she's also ugly. So it's just like, I don't know what's wrong with this family, bro. But Gray runs away because she becomes attuned to her magic and she can transform into people, and they hate her for that and they're gonna kill her. And so she runs away and she runs into Ghosh before he becomes a Black Bull when he escaped with Marie when he was a criminal. And so she's still transformed, so they think that she's just nobility, but in reality it's just Gray, and they met her before they actually met her. And so he's just like, yo, you need to get out of here. They're going to kill you, all right? It's not a place for somebody to be by themselves, especially if they're royalty, all right? Get out of here. And so years later, they meet back up in the Black Bulls and they're having a good time. And we realize that Gray actually is falling for Ghosh. And so she puts her all into healing him, and it actually works. Or at least like something similar to healing. In reality, she rebuilt his entire thing, not through healing. So Ghosh is alive for now, and Ost is cooked. He's done. Like the man got bodied by Dante, right? And so Yami shows up with Finral, and now it's Yami versus Dante, right? And I'll get to them in a second. So next we have Noel, Mimosa, Gaja, Luck, Leopold, and Lepeshka and Undine versus all of the people that Danica brought from her group in the Spade Kingdom, right? And the main people fighting are Noel, Mimosa. Oh, I forgot Nero as well. Nero isn't with Asta. She's with Lepeshka and Noel and all of them. So Noel, Mimosa, Nero, or Sakurai, whatever you prefer, and Lepeshka. That's all four of them fighting Vanica, right? And Vanica has Malicula, or wow, excuse me. Vanica has Magicula, the devil that's inhabiting her, and so they need to kill Magicula for the Lepeshka to live because she's cursed, right? And so that's why they're fighting. Luck is fighting one of the off guys. He doesn't matter. You have Leopold fighting his, and you have Charmy as well. I forgot Charmy's her as well, and she's fighting her own person. But the main fight is Vanica. And so once like things just blow open, we have this crazy fight. Noelle really just has come so far, and I've noticed a lot of people mentioning it in what I'm watching. They view her as useful Sakura. There you go. I've been tongue tied for so long trying to say that. And I'm not gonna say that because Sakura has had her useful moments. Even though I've had my gripes with her, she is useful. But Noelle is just like she is putting in the work. It's insane. Noelle is so different from the person that she used to be all the way back in the beginning of the show, where she could barely muster a spell and barely control herself, to now she's controlling all of her magic. She can do a sea dragon's roar right in front of an enemy and be completely confident in it, and just using the armor again. Like, it's insane. She's so good now, and it's awesome. Noelle has completely become an independent character besides her tsundere tendencies, right? And it's so awesome. Like, she's definitely one of my favorite characters for sure. I like that the creator just handles her so well. But basically, we see that Vanica is just correct. She has hemomancy magic, and it's just insane. And then on top of that, once they're able to beat her, Magicula shows up, and now he has half control over her body, and Magicula just claps like everybody. They take Lepeshka, and they're just like, Noelle, if you want to get her back, come and find me, and if you want to beat me, get stronger, just like your mom when I killed her. And Noelle's just losing it. She's like super upset, super upset, and so the one thing that she does before leaving is, hey, I'm gonna blow up my subordinates, and they're gonna cause a huge explosion. And so she blows up her subordinates. Luckily, we find out that Noelle, Leopold, Charmy, and Luck and Mimosa were all able to stop the explosions, or at the very least, stop any damage from coming to the citizens. So they managed to get out alive, but we don't know what happens to them afterwards. Back to Yami and all of them, right? So Yami is fighting Dante. Man was training the entire 6 months, so he's just cracked now. He can use the monozone like it's nothing. He's doing these black hole type moves, and it's just super cool. But he's losing because Dante's using more and more of his devil powers. He's at like 70 to 80% now. And we find out that he can't go 100% because the demon realm hasn't been opened yet. And so they have to open it, which is what they're trying to do. The reason why they're trying to do it is because they just want them to spill over. But how they're trying to do it is they want William and they want Yami. And they're going to take them, they're going to sacrifice them. And they need William's world tree magic to summon Klopoth, the tree. And they need Yami's magic to put the dark energy into it. And so that's why they're trying to kidnap both of them. And Dante, he's beating Yami, and Yami's just like, dang, dog, I'm losing. It sucks. All right, time to call for backup. And he's like, yo, Asta. And by the way, this is like the first time he's ever called him by his name. Well, no, actually, yeah, it is acknowledging him, but it's more acknowledging him as a rival, and he can trust him to fight alongside him as equals. Comparing it back to like the Midnight Suns invasion thing, where they were fighting, like Yami was clearly the captain, and Asta was clearly the subordinate fighting the weaker guy, and now you have them both fighting Dante at the same time, with Asta being a crucial point in the offense. So it was just super cool. And you're gonna see in the thumbnail the moment that it was just like, wow, my jaw dropped. But they're fighting Dante. It's a super cool fight. Probably the best fight in the entire series besides like the Zagrid one. And it was just like, man, I was gone. I was cooked. I was loving every second of it. And they managed to defeat him. They actually managed to win because Asta, the only reason he got up was because he made a deal with his devil. And the deal was he takes his arm and he gives him power. So Asta's able to stand up because he agreed to it, and now his arm is all messed up. It's red. It's black like how when he transforms into his devil form, but it's completely just gone. It's not his arm anymore. And so he gets back up. He's fighting alongside Yami, and they beat Dante. They beat him barely, like a narrow margin, like a 51 to 49 margin, but they managed to do it. And then Xenon, all the way back from the Golden Dawn base, comes over here and he's just like, dog, How are you gonna make that grand speech about we're gonna win and they can't do anything about it and lose? What type of leader are you? And so he takes Dante, he grabs Yami because he stabs him with his bone magic, and he leaves. Everybody tries to stop him, but he leaves. And so Xenon and Dante are gone, Banneker are gone, Lower Peshka, Vengeance, and Yami are gone. So now it's just like, what is happening? So Yuno and Asta are now back in the capital. The Black Bulls as well are in the capital, except for Magna, Henry, and Zora, right? Noel as well. And so everybody's there. They're getting healed up. We find out that again, Gray's magic is actually rebuilding stuff, or at least like an aspect of it. So she has arcane magic as well. So does Vanessa. So does Asta, and so does Sekre, and also Yami. So those are five people with arcane level magic. And here's where we get one of the craziest reveals from the show. Asta, he's going to go try to go over to the Spade Kingdom, he meets the Black Bulls vice captain. And the guy, his name is Noct, and he's just like, yo, I'm the vice captain. The guy's an idiot. Yami's an idiot. But I'm gonna help you train and get stronger because you also have a devil power. And I respect you. I like people like you. So I'm gonna help you. But first, go to bed. And Alistair's like, okay, alright. And so he goes to bed. And then the next day, the captains have a meeting. William and Yami are gone, so Yuno has to fill in for his place. Nobody's filling in for Yami, and everybody's just like, "What do we do?" and all that. And Jack goes over to leave because he's like, "Well, I'm not gonna sit around. I'm gonna go get them." And then Charlotte is just like, "Don't be rash," but in reality, she's like, "Please let me go with you." And so everything's just crazy. Then Nox shows up with Asta, and they're just like, "All right, so this is what happened." And Noct is actually a spy in the Spade Kingdom, so he's been looking over what they're gonna do. And the ceremony is gonna take 7 days, so they need a lot of time to prepare. And the invasion is basically just gonna be, yo, like we're gonna go over there in like 3 days, so get ready. And so the captains are all get ready. They decide that Asta, Yuno, and Noct are gonna go over there, and everybody else is gonna join for an invasion, right? And so Asta and Noct are going over to train, right? Meanwhile, you have Noelle, and she wakes up, and then you see Patri, Raya, the Beast guy, and Fauna all in the same room together. They're alive still because I forgot that literally they lived because they got reincarnated bodies. Oh wow, excuse me, that was a bad voice crack. But they all have reincarnated bodies. And Noelle was just like, why did you help us? And then Patri was just like, the tree. Our tree told us to help you. Unfortunately, we got there too late, but we managed to save you all. And you all saved the citizens thanks to your heroic acts. And then Noelle is just like, alright, please train us. You're all better mages than all of us here. We need to get stronger to save Lower Peshka. And so Patri and Raya and all of them are just like, alright, if you say so. And so they take them to the deeper parts of where they're at, and where they're at is actually the new Elven kingdom that's like deep into the Forsaken realm. And two children come up and they're looking at Noel and all of them. And Sekre, Nero, notices them, and then she realizes those two children are Lumiere's, his sister, the children that she had, they never died. One of the twins died in birth. The other one made it, and so she locked her away, and then she was able to have her child, and that child was able to continue the lineage. So the elven and human blood mixed, and those two children exist now because of them. And so she's just really emotional because her plan actually worked. Lumiere and her plan actually worked, and it paid in dividends. There's unification between the two races, and even now when they're working together, it shows that they're able to trust each other now because of what happened in the elf reincarnation arc. So it's just such a good payoff for that arc. And now that they're able to help each other when they used to be enemies, all three of them were in their own arcs trying to kill Asta and Noel. But now they're not. And it's just crazy. It's so fire. So I just can't wait to see how that comes back with the Diamond Kingdom. I'm just really excited, really, really excited. So back to Asta to finish his off, because that's the last thing, and then I'm done. So Asta is now with Noct, and they're in a forbidden area because this is forbidden magic, a forbidden ritual that they're about to do. And Asta doesn't know that until Noct tells him, and Noct is just basically like, "Yo, you're gonna fight your devil, and you're gonna make a contract with him, kind of like Chainsaw Man." And he's just like, "So beat him." And then Asta's devil that's been in his grimoire since day one, that's helped him out in the Witch's Forest, that helped him out in the last arc, that helped him out in this arc, he's here. And we know his name is Libe. And we learn his backstory. So Libe is basically a devil who has no magic, right? Just like Asta. And he was in the demon realm, and one of them threw him at the wall that's blocking the demons from the human realm. But because he has no magic, he wasn't blocked, he wasn't repelled. And so he got transported to the human realm. And he was wandering for a long time, and then Asta's mother found him. And the reason she left Asta at Hodge Village was because she has the same thing that Henry does, where she sucks other people's mana away from them. And so she couldn't have Asta there with him. She would kill him. And this, when she meets Libe, is later after she gave away Asta to the Hodge Village. I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was saying his name wrong the entire time, but no, yeah, it's Libe. And so he meets her, and she saves his life because he was dying. He was basically almost dead. And she's just like, "Yo, so I'm gonna make you my son now. You're my son." And the reason why she's able to keep him is because again he has no magic, so he's not dying. And now that you look at it, you would think like, "Oh shoot, she would have been able to keep Asta if she knew that if he knew that he didn't have any magic." But then you would also think like, so why didn't she think that he didn't, right? Because you wouldn't you be able to feel a baby's mana presence when they come out of the womb? It's like I don't know. It's a little weird. Let me know if you guys have any answers for that below. But they're mother and son now. It's adorable. It's really cute. And she's just like Asta, honestly, very similar, just a happy-go-lucky girl. And then one day, Lucifero, Dante's devil, tries to take over Libe because he's a demon with or devil with no mana, right? And so he thinks that he's able to take over his body and basically open up the demon realm, right? And Lichta, she tries to Asta's mother. She tries to stop Lucifero, and it works. She manages to stop him, but he stabs right through her abdomen, so she's dying. Right? She hugs Libe, puts him into the five Clover Grimoire because she also had that at the time of their meeting, and he's been locked away in there ever since. That's why Asta's able to use double powers because of Libe. And so when they met, he was planning to take over Asta's body to kill all of the demons that have ever wronged him. So all of them. And so now that Asta and him are fighting, Asta's getting to the root cause of the problem. He's understanding him, and he manages to beat him using all of the techniques and powers and knowledge that he gained from all of the people that he fought in the show and learned from, like as in like a master type thing, right? So you have the guy from the Sea Temple, the dancer. You have Fonzel. You have Licht when he fought him. You have Mars. You have Mars. That's his name. You have Yami. So he learned from all of them, and he's able to use what he gained from them to beat Libe. And so Notch is just basically like, "Yo, make a contract with him. You beat him, so this is all you. This is all you, right?" And he's just like, "All right, let's be friends." And then Notch is just like, "Oh, okay, all right." And then Libe and him become friends. And now it's just like, "All right, dog. Well, you did it. Next is the real training, so let's get into it." And that's the end of Black Clover. That's where the anime ends, and then the manga begins. The next chapter is when they start training. So it's just really cool. Really, really cool. I cannot wait to see what happens with this manga. I've come to the end of the anime, so I'm like halfway through now, or like two-thirds, if anything, because I've seen how long the manga is, and I only have like 100 chapters left. So I'm like two-thirds of the way there. and I'm just so excited. This arc 9.5 out of 10. Great. It was amazing. It was awesome. Had me crying multiple times. I was hyped from start to finish. It was just great from start to finish. Excuse me. It was great from start to finish. And I just have the expectations are high, like they are super high, and I just can't wait. So animation was peak, the story was peak, the characters were great. The show I mentioned it earlier, from start till now, has just only been improving and improving and improving. So I genuinely am just so excited to cover the next arc that we're going into. So that's gonna be it for me for now. We're not done with Black Clover just yet. Once I'm done with this, I'm gonna be going into another show, and I can't wait. But yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.